Not surprised that the Lions lost in Kansas City on Sunday night. But you have some other your take is on the Chiefs. Mine is on the Lions. What do you got?
Yeah, no, I just think, obviously if you're the Lions, it's a tough loss. You don't want to lose that game, especially when you had that opening drive. You're feeling good about yourself, had a nice, cute little trick play. They called back. Somehow the Chiefs always get those kind of calls, but that's neither here nor there.
There you go. Typical Lions homer.
No, don't act like everybody ain't been saying that about the Chiefs for the last 2-3 years. But no, but it was less about them to me and about the Chiefs, and specifically what I've kind of been saying for a handful of weeks ever since they beat the Ravens, when I said, man, their offense is about to get going. We have been complaining about the Chiefs' offense for the last 2 seasons, justifiably so. There have been historic lows for Patrick Mahomes, for the team. Somehow they obviously got to the Super Bowl a couple of times, won one and then lost last year. So it kind of outweighed how they had performed. But I started to see, man, when they start getting pieces back, when guys, they've also picked up a couple of nice pieces. And Patrick Mahomes is starting to look like Patrick Mahomes to the tune, Rob, that he is doing things that we haven't seen him do in quite some time. I'm talking about numbers that he really hasn't even done since 2018. You look at some of these right now. Patrick Mahomes is averaging 282 passing yards over the last 3 weeks, 70% completions, 32 yards rushing per game, 10 total touchdowns, 1 interception. They're averaging, and then he has the best mark of since 2018 when it comes to they're almost averaging 3 points per drive. So that's, to me, the takeaway. How scary the Chiefs are about to be, and we're going to look up, and you, me, Rob G, Elijah, and the whole crew will be in Santa Clara or wherever up in the Bay, and it's going to be the Chiefs representing the AFC in the Super Bowl again, and they somehow will have pulled it off again when none of us saw it coming. When we thought there would be a down year, we thought that Josh Allen MVP would be able to do it, when we thought Lamar Jackson would be able to come back and bounce back. Not the case. And the Chiefs, to me, are scary, and they're a week away from Rashee Rice, which is only going to make their offense more potent. 3-3.
Okay.
I have no worries about the Chiefs. So 3-3, that's the walk away from me. I said, oh, gosh, they're back. I thought they would be. I said it a few weeks ago, and each week
so much so
showing.
that you picked the Ravens, right?
Yeah, I picked the Ravens.
Yeah, if you thought they were going to be back this year.
No, I picked the Ravens in the offseason.
No, I know, but if you thought they were going to be back this year, why wouldn't you have picked the Chiefs?
Miss Mary Mack, if you look at our notes in there, I literally wrote Chiefs, you will see it.
No,
and I
I'm
scratched
asking
out Ravens.
I'm asking you.
You'll
right.
see it.
Well,
be my confirmation.
Why did
because the Ravens, they are justifiably going into the season. We thought they'd be there.
Okay.
But here we are again, and it's the same greatest hits. And it's about to be the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again.
They're 3-3. They're not going to the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs are about to do it again.
But this is what I found out, that another team's not going to the Super Bowl. I didn't look at it from the Chiefs. I looked at it that the Lions, once again, have shown that they're fraudulent because the 2 teams that they needed to beat, or the good teams, are the 2 teams that they lost, Green Bay and Kansas City. And Kansas City had a chance to make them 2-4, which would have been good. They've been scuffling as far as winning games. So this was a game that the Lions absolutely had a chance at winning in Kansas City because everybody else seems to be beating them, and they had a chance to be 2-4 in this early season. And who have they beaten? The Bears. They hung 50 points on them. The Bengals, who aren't good. And the Ravens now, that win against the Ravens isn't as good because they can't beat anybody. So that you take that one away. So really, who have they beaten this year to make you feel good about the Lions? And that's what I took away from this. This was a game to me where the Chiefs are uneven. They didn't have they weren't favored by 7.5 points because this was a game that the Lions couldn't get. And the Lions couldn't win it. And those were the 2 games that I looked at, and I said, not to win both of them, split it. This was the game I would have felt a lot better. I would have been like, okay, maybe the Lions do have some mojo, really have something going. But when it came down to it, they have the wins against mostly the teams that aren't good. And the wins, the 2 games against the teams that I consider really good, they're 0-2. So I looked at that, and I thought to myself, okay, as we go forward, we'll see where the Lions are.
Mm-hmm. But wait, okay. Not even mad at some of your points.
No, I'm just.
But how then is it fraudulent versus, well, let's wait and see? Because one of the things that we talked about last season that I like about the Lions last year, and it seems to be this case, obviously you lost is a loss, but is that whoever's in front of them, when they win, they beat them usually bad. And that had the point differential difference last year, point differential this year, meaning
they beat the bad Ravens by 8.
Meaning they go in and they beat who they're supposed to beat, and they don't typically play down the If it's the Bengals, they beat them. If it's the so-and-so, they beat them. And that's what I like about them.
You felt good about last night's game with the Lions? No, I'm asking you about the Lions.
No, I'm saying no. I thought they.
What did you like?
I'm going to tell you. What I didn't like was I felt like they were rattled for a bit when they caught a great fourth down. They didn't get in the end zone. They got in the end zone, but then they called it back. I felt like it kind of took them out of it a little bit. I didn't like that.
The Lions had 7 points in the second half.
Yeah,
that's all I
don't like that. The Chiefs' defense is good, but it's not that. If you're the Lions, you shouldn't feel like it's that good that you can't put up points. So I think the Chiefs got a couple of few third down conversions that kept them on the field, that kept the Lions' offense off. But I didn't walk away from that feeling like I thought the Lions. I think the Lions lost to the potential AFC champion representative in the Super Bowl.
But they're not that now. They might be. You might be right, but they're not that now. At 2 and 3 coming in, they weren't that. They were on their heels in a must-win game. I told you Friday that they had to win.
They didn't want to go
they couldn't go in 2 and 4,
and that was my concern.
But that was one for the Lions to really bury the Chiefs, which they could have. To me, 7 points in the second half. Wow.
The concern now for the Lions, you got to play the Bucs. We're going to talk about later on. But
Bucs, Vikings, Commanders, the next 3 games.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield, now I don't want to say good because you never want anybody hurt, but the thing that will be in your favor if you're the Lions is the receivers are hurt. All of them banged up a little bit for the Bucs. So that'll be in your favor because the Lions DBs are banged up. Now, Branch, they done suspended Branch themselves. What in the world?
I thought the league did.
Maybe I saw it wrong. I thought the Lions did. But
what was it? The league or was it the Lions? Because I saw
the league.
A quote from
he is suspended.
Yeah, from the league. That's what I thought.
They're one of their better players on the defensive side of the ball.
He should be suspended.
I'm not mad at the suspension.
Me and Dan Campbell don't agree on a lot, but I agree with the way that he took him to task.
He called
right
him out
away.
Publicly.
Called him out because. There's no place for that.
Dude,
I'm sorry. Zero.
You can't do that like that. Meaning, if it's in the confines of the game, stuff happens. We see scuffles, right?
Not after the game. A guy
everybody's
comes
dapping up. Yeah. And I understand he did do a dirty play in the back, but you have to. And he
address it then.
Branch said it. I got to handle that in the confines of the game, in between the lines, because then you just look. The Joe public doesn't know that, right? The league, they just see that. We don't know. Well, a few plays ago, he did this.
You can't swing on somebody who's walking up to you for a dap.
So
come on, man.
You look bad no matter what, because it doesn't. The dap didn't come with an explanation, like it wasn't on the back of your fist. Hey, I'm about to punch him because of this and this and this. All we see is the slap or the punch. So look bad. And that's a big blow for a secondary to Lions that they could not afford to lose. And I'm very disappointed in him for doing that, putting your team in a bind that's already struggling health-wise on the back end. So now even more burden is going to be on that offensive line. Chiefs, I say they're back and are Super Bowl contenders. You say the Lions are fraud. 877-99 on Fox. What say you? Who we got?
John in Boston. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, John?
Rob, Kelvin, happy Monday. How are you fellas?
Doing great. How are you, bud?
We're hanging in there. The Chiefs, you just can't get rid of them. They're like a bad pair of underwear, a bad penny. They just will not go away, right? I mean, you just keep trying to kill them and you can't put them to sleep. Rob, I agree with you, the Lions. After watching that game last night, here are my issues with the Lions. First of all, first series you go down, you're dominating, and all of a sudden you decide to run a trick play. Like, you have the best offensive line in football, 2 outstanding backs, a sensational tight end, all sorts of receivers.
Trying to be cute.
Exactly.
John, you're trying to be cute when you don't have to be cute.
Exactly. Do that when you're up 17 or 20 or 24 and everybody can laugh at you. But at that point, I'm like, that is where they kind of lost the game because they could have really kept that crowd out of it by scoring a touchdown there. Instead, they decided to be cute. Like you said, Rob, absolutely 100% true. And the other thing is they are not built to come from behind. And Jared Goff's a really good quarterback. He's not among the top guys in the league because he can't come from behind. When they're ahead and play action is in play, they're nearly unstoppable. But when they're down 7-10 points, play action is out the window, and now he becomes a drop-back passer. He's good, not great. He's not one of the elite guys, especially when he's behind. We saw that last year in the playoffs.
We sure did.
The playoffs against Washington, right? They got down, and that was the end of that.
So he was throwing alley-oops to the other team.
No doubt.
That did not help.
Thanks, John. Appreciate the call.
You, John.
How about Harold in Chicago? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Is this a Harold I know in Chicago? What's up, buddy?
I thought it was Harold's Chicken in Chicago. What's up?
Kelvin and Rob. No, Lions aren't a pretend team. They're just front runners. They're only good when they're up. They like to put up that lead and just run up the score when they're down for the game's lead, and they don't know what to do. They don't run playoff-style football. It's Kansas City knows how to keep the lead. They play boring football when they're up. That's how you win. It's just that Lions style of play. It just doesn't work against the good teams when they're down or it's close. That's all that is.
Okay. Harold, appreciate that.
You.
Thank you. How about Antonio in Miami? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Antonio?
What's up, guys? I think last night said a little more about the Chiefs. If you go back, I'm pretty sure less than 5 teams starting 2 and 4, are getting into playoffs. Detroit basically went undefeated last year, and they need to get back to that moment from against San Francisco. I don't know if they ever will. It's almost like Detroit can do whatever they want, but I will say next Sunday or Monday when they play Tampa Bay, that will say more about Detroit. I think moving forward,
that's another game. If they lose
one.
that game, they're 4-3, and then all of a sudden it doesn't look as good.
Yeah,
right?
They got a tough schedule in the next few games.
This is unbelievable what
Seattle
the Mariners are doing.
Fire right now.
It's 9-3.
Can they loan some of those to the Tigers? My gosh.
Josh Naylor just went deep with a 2-run bomb. This is all in Toronto. This is in Toronto. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Let's go.
Man, it's still a couple of 2 innings and 2.5.
What is it, 7, 8? Yeah. Will in Wisconsin, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Will?
What's going on, Rob? What's going on, Kelvin?
What up, Will?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just enjoying this, heading into this half part of the season. And, Calvin, to your point, I think we did see the Lions play their absolute worst earlier in those early division losses, but certainly those losses and then, a couple of those out-of-conference things that get you out of competition real quick when you're talking about winning the division. And so right now they're not separating themselves as like one of the better 2 or 3 teams that's going to appear in the Super Bowl, let alone win one. And so it's still going to be a wait-and-see game. But I really don't think that this is, Rob, to your point about the Chiefs. No, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, it's Kelsey. It's them getting guys that have to go forth and have to be, compete out there in that West. But I don't think they're back to any form. I mean, right now, what the Chargers are heading that division. So until the Chiefs, separate themselves from the Chargers or even the Broncos, right?
You don't feel comfortable with them Chargers and Broncos. You don't feel safe with them. You know that.
All right, appreciate that, Will. Thank you. Let's squeeze one more in. Drew in New Jersey, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
Hey, I don't think that the Lions are on the same caliber as Philly and Tampa. I think Tampa, what they're doing right now with basically all their players banged out, and Baker Mayfield's clearly the truck driver, not the trailer anymore. I think that the Chiefs are not back offensively. I think that's drastically overrating what he's done. However, I think that they could still make the Super Bowl only because the AFC is so weak right now. However, if I could pick one team to beat them, I would pick the Colts. I'm not saying the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. I think that the Colts will upset the Chiefs and then lose to the Bills or lose to anybody else, like fall flat on their head in the next game. But I think that they're going to overlook the Colts. Daniel Jones will play one good playoff game, and then he'll go back to earth.
Go back to it, we saw him play that playoff game against Minnesota. Remember that got him that contract.
They got him playing out of his mind right now. The Colts are a real team that none of us are going to give him credit yet.
I'm out.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm just being honest.
No, I'm with you. That's why I said nobody's going to give. It's kind of like wait and see.
When they win, then I'll say I was
everybody,
wrong.
The Chiefs they're not playing around, and they don't give a dang what we talking about. All right, on the way, conversation about
about your guy. I'm going ham on you.
By the way, we'll do that because you need to make sure you clarify some things when you talk about that. We'll do that
guy.
In just a moment. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.